The envelope pass active learning experience is a simple yet effective instructional strategy that can be adjusted and modified in a variety of ways for any grade level or content area. In this video, we will be learning how to use an envelope pass for students to process their learning through teacher-directed tasks. Let's begin with this example. If the students are learning about different organisms, the teacher would first need to select 4 pieces of media for students to engage with during each task. The teacher could select a video for students to watch, 2 short articles to read, and a graphic organizer to review on unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Next, the teacher will create a set of 4 tasks for students to complete cooperatively. The task set could all be based on finding the main ideas surrounding the concept of cells at each piece of media provided. Each task is unique in order to promote engagement and differentiation. Each task should be created to take about the same amount of time so the rotations go smoothly. For instance, one task structure could be round robin. In this task, students would crumple a blank piece of paper into a ball and pass it around their table. When someone catches the ball, they would share a main idea they understood from, let's say, a video on unicellular organisms. Once everyone has shared their main ideas, the ball can be passed again, asking students to begin making connections or comparing and contrasting unicellular and multicellular organisms. Another task could be a visual showdown. In this task, students are asked to draw a representation of a concept. In this case, they could draw a unicellular organism and a multicellular organism based on the article they just read. Students will be given 2 minutes to draw their examples and then share and explain how their pictures represent these types of organisms. The teacher would then need to create 2 additional tasks to complete the setup of this strategy. Once the task set is created, the teacher will print each task twice and stuff them into a mailing envelope by folding them like a letter. Now the teacher has 2 sets of 4 tasks. In a classroom of, let's say, 34, the teacher can set up 8 groups of 4 students. By separating the 8 groups into 2 different rotations of 4, the teacher can have both sides of the classroom rotating the same 4 task sets at the same time. It is helpful to color code each group of 4 with a colored card on the table to make the rotations easier. Let's look at how this process works. Step 1. The teacher creates 8 groups of about 4 students. Step 2. The teacher provides 4 chunks of material to each student. Step 3. The teacher directs each team to engage with the first chunk of material. If this is a piece of text, they may ask students to read it and annotate it. If it is a video, they may ask students to take notes on the key words that stand out while watching. Step 4. When students are finished engaging with the material, the teacher will direct each team of 4 students to open their envelope, take out the task, and complete the task cooperatively. Step 5. When the task is complete, the teacher will direct the students to document their learning from that chunk in some way. This could be adding to a collaborative poster, completing an individual portion of a graphic organizer, or building a sketch note. Step 6. Next, students will be directed to pass their envelope to the next team as indicated by the teacher. Step 7. The teacher will ask students to engage with the second chunk of material. Step 8. The teacher will direct the teams to open their new envelope and complete the new task. This process repeats 4 times, so each group does each task once. In order for the envelope pass to be successful, the teacher must set up specific roles for each member of the team so that each time a new chunk of material is presented or a new task is started, at least 1 to 2 members are responsible for doing something. This could include who passes the envelope to the next team, who opens and reads the task directions to the team, who writes the team's conclusions or connections from the material onto a poster, who times the task to make sure the team stays on track. Whatever roles the teacher chooses, they need to place this activity so that students are reminded of their role each round. The goal being all students are actively participating in the learning process in some way during each round. During this process, it is important for the teacher to use this time not only to direct the pace of each envelope pass round, but to be visiting tables, recording any misconceptions students are having, and noting them down on a clipboard or a binder in order to formally assess student learning progress towards mastery. When all 4 tasks are completed, teachers should consider having students create a culminating artifact to finalize their learning that occurred during the activity. For instance, students could individually write a summary of their learning on an index card and provide it to the teacher as an exit ticket. Alternatively, students could work in pairs to create a non-linguistic representation of their learning using paper, markers, or Play-Doh. Students enjoy this strategy because they are able to gain new knowledge in an active way. Even passing an envelope around with a surprise group task is a simple way to gamify the learning process for students. Teachers enjoy this strategy as it promotes student-led discussions that naturally provide opportunities for the teachers to jump in and give real-time feedback while students are working through each task. The pacing and rotating of envelopes also provides immediacy in the classroom environment, keeping students focused and engaged. Students benefit greatly from material being presented in bite-sized portions. Providing students with purposeful, teacher-directed tasks allows for much-needed processing time of new information. When students are able to digest content and material in this way, they are more likely to move their learning from short-term to long-term memory.